Thank you all for coming, and I welcome all of you. Without all the other routine stuff that you already know about, the restrooms in the back and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how many of you people know Diane Whitaker. She was with the city.
Okay, stop.
Oh.
Just, it's Diana Barnhart.
Oh. She got married.
No, I got divorced.
You know, I've been there myself.
Well, I actually wanted to talk to you about that, Joe. I couldn't remember if you were still married or if you were divorced.
Well, I thought I was divorced, but now I don't know.
Stand up, coming.
I know. So shall
You know, I think I'm going to step down and let Diane have a few words.
Well, it's funny that Joe would bring up my former name because what I wanted to talk about tonight was why I got a divorce. And, you know, I was, well, wait a minute, just look at it. How many people have been divorced or are divorced?
Oh my God.
How many people are married?
How many people are married?
How many people are married and thinking about divorce?
That's a memory.
So I was one of the, married to a guy, and one of those couples where we have to be careful these days, and know that it was a man. And, you know, everybody thought we were the perfect couple, and everybody would say, why did they get a divorce? And you know, once you start getting a divorce, you have to take stock of yourself. And that's when I thought maybe I'd become a comedian, because I realized I wasn't the most supportive wife in the world. And that it took two people to get a divorce, and by golly, I realized I had a lump of lead as cold as steel here where a woman's heart should be. Now my first husband, there's only been two. My first husband, my ex, I'm very healthy. I've got good teeth, I've got good bones, I'm healthy. But my first husband, if there was a cold in Iowa, the man could catch it in Mountain View, California. And I would just get so irritated, and I knew he was doing it just to piss me off. And he always would get a fever. I got a fever. And ladies tell me, there's nothing worse than a sick man, right? They whine and they complain. So he would come down with one of these fevers. And what did I do? I'd go shopping. I couldn't stand it. So once I was out on one of these shopping expeditions, and I ran into a mutual friend of ours, and she said, maybe he is sick. And I'm like, what? Sick? And I never really thought maybe the man could be sick. So I actually stopped shopping. I went back home, and there he was in the bed, lying in drenched sheets, just totally flooded sheets. And he says, and he looks up and he goes, I think my fever broke. Who's the bad guy there? The fevered husband or the bitchy wife? The bitchy wife. Right? Yeah. And so I was not the most supportive, and realized that he was a lifelong Giants fan. Now, he grew up in the Bay Area. I came out to the Bay Area. I was a Cubs fan. And he was a lifelong Giants fan. And I always liked just a good baseball game. If the Giants weren't playing, I just like a good baseball game. And you all remember the 1988 World Series. I thought it was one of the most exciting games I'd ever seen when Kirk Gibson hit that home run off of Dennis Eckersley. You remember this. The man's limping, and I'm like at the TV, I'm cheering, oh my God, can you believe it? Can you believe he hit a home run? Oh my God, I love it. was my husband with that look. He's a lifelong Giants fan. And if you're not cheering for the Giants, you're cheering for the A's. And you're certainly not cheering for the Dodgers. And there I was, turned around and said, "Can you believe it?" And he's like, "Fuck you, Diane." Oh, right. It wasn't that good. Let it go at that. Then he worked outside a lot. He always worked outside. And he got up early, and he always wore a blue jean jacket to work. And they pranked each other at work all the time. And this was way back before the millennials understood what pranking was. And these guys would prank each other all the time, and he'd come home and tell me about it. We'd laugh about it. And one morning he gets up and has his breakfast, and he goes to the hall closet. And he puts his arm through that blue jean jacket, but the hand didn't come out. And he put his arm through the other one, and the hand didn't come out. And he's like Yosemite Sam. You know, and he's just that terrible mouth. And he couldn't get his hands out, and I said, "Honey, they've stapled the cuffs shut." And sure enough, they had stapled his cuffs shut, thinking that he would put it on when he was at work. But no, they put it on in front of me, and what did I do? I laughed. I laughed so hard. And he's jumping around, and he's irritated, and he says, "Fuck you, Diane." It's funny. So it's a wonder we stayed married as long as we did, because we did travel to Italy with some friends, and we were having a great time. And how many people have been to Italy? A lot. So we're in Tuscany, and guess what you're drinking? You're drinking the Vino Rosa della Casa, the red house, a house red wine. We'd get it in plastic bottles and take it home from the restaurant, and we're all sitting around the kitchen table. There's about 8 of us. We're laughing, and I don't know if you can see this behind the mic, but all of a sudden, the man I'm married to goes, "I think I got bit." And we're like, what, you know, and he's like, I got bit. Well, the more he talked, the more I'd start laughing. And I always laugh at the wrong times. It's just part of who I am. And he is talking about getting bit, and I never stopped laughing. Well, all of a sudden, he spits out, and there it is, a black wasp, about 1 inch long. And I started laughing so hard, I'm falling on the floor, and he says, "Fuck you, Diane, I could have died." And I'm like, well, I couldn't stop laughing. So our friend came over, she was a nurse from around the table, and she made a little paste of baking soda and probably white wine, I don't know. Put it on his tongue, and well, and then he'd try and talk to me, talk like this, and then I'd start laughing more, and he would, you know, he just got so angry. And so that night, we go to bed. We're all staying in this villa, and I tried to apologize. And I tried to say, "I'm sorry, Jim," but I started laughing, and he said, "Fuck you." Went to the couch, that's where I stayed the night. And then the last, and I think this was the last straw, is the night he tried to kill me. And I know that you read these articles, you see these headlines, you know, "Man kills wife accidentally," and I'm always like, that is such bullshit. You know, that's not true. Well, this is how it happens. So I would, he worked early, he'd go to bed early. I would work late. I had city council meetings I'd have to go to. And you'd come home, you're wound up. You know, what did I say? Why did they look at me this way? And so I come home one night, and I take my suit off, I put my sweatsuit on, and I'm going to go outside and have a cigarette and a beer. Just think about the council meeting. So I'm sitting on the kitchen steps, and it's really not very comfortable. So I thought, I'll just go around to the backyard. And so I get my cigarettes, and I got my beer. I go around, I open the gate, not to make any noise, because he's asleep. and I got a chair and I sat on the deck. Now, I didn't have the protection of the house, it's in Mountain View, it's cold, so I put my hood up on my sweatshirt. Because you know, heat, a lot of heat from your head, so put my hood up, and I finished my cigarette, well, it was more than one. And I finished my beer, and I thought, well, I can go in and go to bed now. Well, there I was, at our bedroom, through the French doors, opened the French doors. Now it's about 11 o'clock at night, and I'm in a dark purple sweatsuit with a hood on my head. And I open the door, and I get tangled up in the curtain. And I'm kind of fighting the curtain, and what he hears is the bedroom door open and somebody coming in to his house. And when I saw him, his fist was right there, and I could see it out of the corner of my eye. And he says, "Fuck you, Diana! I could have killed you!" And I started laughing. And I slept on the couch that night too, and that's why I got a divorce. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for
That's why I got it.